Hello everyone, welcome again. And in this session, this is third session for a Spring Boot project development series. And here till now, what we have done, just take a quick recap and then we'll start for the next step. So we were working on a bug tracking system and we are trying to building it from the scratch. And okay, so let's run. I think it's already running and my server. Let me quickly close my existing tools. And I just rerun my Eclipse, my browser, open the application property file. Okay, so just quickly recap. We have created a simple like project, Spring Boot configuration. Then we'll create a home page. Then we'll create a sign up, and the data is also storing for the sign up. So sign up is completely done. We have done the validation part as well. In last session, we have done the validation. And in this, we are going to work on the login page. So currently nothing is happening, like white label it is there for the login page. So if you see the registration page, we are getting proper validation messages. If we fill up the correct data, it will submit the data and send a response to user registered successfully, even it's not allowing to add the duplicate records. So we have add the enough validations over there. Hope it will be helpful and understandable for you as well, and quickly move to the next step. And in this session, we are going to work on the login process. I guess. Yes. So we are going to work on a login and we'll try to cover the logout as well. Okay, so let's quickly start. But before that, I will recommend you to watch the videos completely. And if you are not aware with the previous videos, I will share the link in the description box. So I will recommend you to go there and check those videos first because you will be easily understand how we'll done this setup till now. So first, I will recommend you to go and check the videos that previous recorded for this playlist, and then you will come on this. It will be easily understandable for you to understand the login process from now. Also, if you're liking this and if it's uh, really helpful for you, just please give one subscription, one subscribe, and just subscribe and take add a comment like whatever the feedback you have. So it will encourage me to build the to record these sessions like this session for the live development. So let's quickly start this session. So currently we have that login page here into the JSP. So what this JSP login page is doing here. So this is the front end design. So it's contain the HTML code, JSTL code, and the like a Spring binding. We are using the forms over there, Spring forms. Okay, so let me explain you quickly. When user will click on this login page, so we have just click here. So how this thing is coming here. So let me quickly recap. We are in the header section. So in the header section, we have one button login. So this is the same button, same li is showing here, right? You can see here. So when I click on this, you will see it's redirecting on the login sub URL. So it's trying to calling a get API, get mapping as a login. So you can see we are passing it here. Okay, so where is this? So this is available under our controller section. And if you see in the user controller, we have one get mapping with the name of as a login, and where we are redirecting when we are not doing anything, we just redirecting it on the JSP page. So where this definition is available, it's available into the times.xml, and when we call this login uh, as a variable, and it will return this page, and this page is a login.jsp. So it's showing completely this complete design over there. But when user will fill up this detail, this detail, username and the password, and hit the sign in button, the request should be go on the auth or somewhere. So how we can implement this thing? So if you see here, the form is going to start from here, going to end for here, and we have two fields over there: login email and the password, and a button that's going to submit. So this is the button. When user will hit this button, the form will be sent it to the auth request, auth mapping, and it will come into the post method. Okay, so let's quickly implement this in our controller. So we can create a separate controller as well, or we can continue the work into the user controller but I'm going to create a separate controller because it will not create any problem or any confusion. So here, right click on it, go to run as, and I'm going to create a class as a login CTL. So it will handle all our process that we are going to use, all our mappings into the related to the login process. So I just define it as a controller first. Then let me quickly copy one controller format. So I'm going to copy. Yeah, we need this. We need this. Let's copy this one, and we will do some modifications, obviously. So into the login controller, I'm going to go this, and what the URL we are calling from the login page, we are calling auth. So this is the auth. So I'm just going to copy it, go to login controller, just paste it here. So now if user will call, it will redirect on this page. And again, I'm going to remove this try catch and other blocks from here. Okay, now yeah, it's asking to return something. So let me return as a login. By default, I'm giving it a login as a return for like in case of any error, we will redirect the user to on the login page. Otherwise, it will be redirect to the welcome page. So we have to create a welcome page as well. So here we have a two condition. Okay, first thing, whatever the data is coming from the backend from the login page, the data will be come into this form, and then we will bind result and we have a binding result to add the validation, and then we will check the model thing. So let's say first thing, I'm going to check the binding results. Okay, so if we are calling the user form, so over the user form, we already have the checks constraint over there for email and password. These fields are required. So let's quickly do it. So if binding results dot has errors, in case it will return over the login page and will keep the messages as it is like that that is required or something. So again, we can do a try catch over here. Let me quickly implement a try catch, and here we are going to, we can say, we are going to implement this under this try catch. Okay, and I think that's it. So what we are going to try here, we are going to check the validations that I have implemented in the last session. So if you are not aware with the last session, just go and check that session. So you will be easily understand how things are working over there. So this time, this is going to redirect over the same as the same page. We are while we are when I click on this, it's redirecting me over the same page. And okay, if there is not an errors in this case, what we can do, we can else uh, we are going to perform a login operation. There will be two cases. If user is logged in successfully, means the username and password is matched, then it will be redirect to the welcome page. Otherwise, it will redirect to the login page with some error messages. I will implement that in a while. But before that, if I check in the DAO, so in the DAO, we have method here, find by email and password. We are going to use this method. Okay, under the user service, also we need to create one method as a auth. So I'm going to create a method as a auth or public, you can say, yeah, auth, or you can say login. So I'm going to create a method with the name as a login public, and it will also return a user detail, the information of the user that is logged in, and the name is login. Okay, and I'm going to pass a user DTO here, not user DTO. We can pass simple username, password, or user DTO. That's fine. So we are going to pass a user DTO. Let's pass it. And here, okay. And then we have user DAO. In the user DAO, we already have that method. So find by, sorry. find by email and password, and here I'm going to pass user.get email, user.get email, and user.get password, right? That's it. And what it will return? It will return user DTO. So if everything is fine, it will send the user DTO information, user DTO information of the user. Otherwise, it will give the error, or you can say the null value. Perfect. So we have that service method is ready. Now I'm going to back to the controller, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to call that service method. Again, we have to create an auto wire. We have to create an object of service here. Auto wired user service, and name will be as a user service. Okay, now here I'm going to call this user service dot login. Okay, and here I'm going to pass this user form. So how can we call this user form? I'm going to copy this from user controller. We have this. So whatever the data coming from the front end, we'll call it as a under the DTO. So we have this user DTO. We are calling form.get DTO. So we'll keep all the information within this user, and we'll passing this user here. Now this user will be called into the service, then service will communicate with the DAO, and DAO will communicate with the database. And what it's going to return? So it's going to return again a user DTO. So let's say it's going to again return our user DTO here, and I'm going to keep a condition here. If user DTO equals to null, it means the user is not available into the database. It means if it is not null, then what we are going to do, we are going to create a HTTP session. I will teach you session later, but just redirect to the user. If not null, it means there is some information about the user. So what we are going to do, we are going to return this to welcome page. Okay. Otherwise, else it will return to again on the login. In case of any error as well, it will redirect on the login page. Okay. And here we have one exception that we are continue handling, record not found exception. So let me handle this here. Let's say it's record not found exception E. Let's say model dot add attribute let's say error, and here I'm going to pass e dot get message, and after that I'm going to create e dot print stack, so it will give a error on the console as well in case of any default. Okay, so we have done user video. We have all this that's coming onto the welcome. We need to create this welcome as well. But before that, I think everything is looking nice. So let's go there and let's create quickly a welcome page. So I'm going to create another JSP page here. So on the JSP page, I just create welcome. Welcome. Okay, that's fine. Welcome is okay. So here I'm going to print a simple message. Welcome to the user. Welcome user. This is welcome page. This is welcome page and coming after login. Okay. So we are going to see this message. But before that, we have to make entry into attach.xml for the welcome page. So let's quickly do it. So here I'm going to do it as a welcome page, and the name is always welcome. Okay, what should be the title? Title also we are going to keep the welcome page title. And here we need to pass the exact location of that welcome.jsp. So it's available into the web web fragment and welcome.jsp. Okay, now everything is fine. And let's go to the login controller. Let me quickly check. Okay, here if it is go to the welcome page, that's fine. But in case if it's written on the login page, what we need to say? We need to add a model attribute here. So we are going to set a model dot add attribute, and here I'm going to say error. And what should be the error? Invalid username and password. So I'm going to say invalid username or password. That's it. Fine. So let's quickly test it. So I just go to the login page and I enter this. Okay, it's not printing anything, but it's not showing the validation message, but I think this user is not registered. So let's quickly add a correct message over there, correct username password. So this is the user that have a username, email with this name. I'm going to just enter this and the password. I think it should redirect on the, it's no, it's even not redirecting over there. Let me quickly check what the issue. It's not printing anything. Okay, and the login. Okay, we have business messages as well. That's fine. Email is the name. Let's quickly verify the name as well. Okay, we have a form division input. Okay, for the four. Actually, this is not a spring form binding, so that's why this is creating a problem. Let me quickly do that so it will be easy to understand over here. So what can we do for it? We quickly go to the registration, and into the registration we have this simple SF form. So I'm going to use this, and now I'm going to implement this tag lips and the JSTL things as well. So go to the welcome login page. I'm going to add some SF forms. And do we have an email field here? Yes, we have this. So I'm going to just copy this binded email and going to copy here because we are going to use the same field. So under the form section, into the email input, I'm going to put this, right? That's it. And as a form as well, we need a SF form, and we are going to close it as well. SF. Is it correct syntax? Yeah, that's correct. So we have email binding now, and let's quickly search for the password. Okay, here we have password as a binded. Let me quickly go for the password as well. So we are going to bind a password here under this form. And do we have button in this format? Okay, that's it. So I think now it's binded. And let me quickly change the delete. Okay, we need to remove this. This will not required for now. Fine. Okay, we have done almost all the changes. Let's all this if the form is equity and hit. Okay, now it's showing this validation as well that we have implemented by the binding, and that's good. And now when I enter a wrong username, let's say this field is disabled for now. Let me quickly check it. Where we go in the email, we have a read-only true, so just remove it. So if we are going to add this read-only true, it means the field will be disabled. Otherwise, it will be enabled. That's common thing. So I just go here and I enter this. So it's showing me nothing as a validation message, but we are still implementing this business.jsp here. And let's quickly check with the correct email. It might redirecting on the welcome page. So it's not doing anything. So while you're working with real-time projects, you will also face this kind of issue. So now I will go show you how can you track these things like why the error is coming over there. So how can we do that? Just now we are going to decode the thing. So we are redirecting this user over the auth section. Okay. If I go here into the login controller, we have this auth section. We are calling the post method. So first thing we need to verify, are we getting the data here? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this user and going to print it and check into my console. Are we getting the data here? So now we are trying to find the problem. Where is the problem? So user, but it will not print the exact value. I will show you how we can do that. So if everything is fine, then if is there any error, it will say return to the login and show the validation message. Otherwise, it will take information from the form.gto and print that value here, but it's not send the data over there. So let's quickly rerun it and with correct password, email and password. I've just done the execution and now I will check the console. So it's not returning any value here. So we didn't find this user into my console. It means the code is not coming. The controller is not coming here. Okay, so quickly let me do this. I'm just going to keep it here and another check into this else part. Okay, and this time let's see what the result we are getting in the console. So, okay, we are getting one object as a user. So you can see the object is coming in this form. So what we can do, we can just create a toString method in our DTO. So it will give the exact value. How can you do that? Let's quickly check it. So DTO, user DTO, right click here into this user DTO, right click, go to generate source and getter and setter. Sorry, we have already getter and setter. Again, go to the source and generate toString. Select all the fields, print it. That's fine. So now let's quickly submit the form again and check what we are getting. We are getting all the values here. Email is coming and the password is coming, but it's coming before the else. The user one is not printed. So something went wrong here in this condition. So what we can do now, if there is an error, then it will redirect here, else it will print. The code is correct. I don't know why it's doing this thing. Okay, let's say we don't need to check the validation over here. We are directly keep the validation. So let's directly print it. So what I'm going to say, I'm just going to remove this check. Okay, and I'm going to directly print this message. So now if I submit this, so it's printing user as well as user one, and it's redirect to the auth as well. It means it's redirecting over the welcome page and this saying this is the welcome page and coming after login, right? And now if I hit the login button and enter some random number and wrong password, so it say it should be a Gmail format. So okay, I just enter email. So it's showing an invalid username password. Even I'm going to print any blank data, so we don't need to verify the checks over there. It will say the email is required, password is required, and invalid username and the password over there. Okay, this time it was changes into the login, correct one. So hope you have understand this thing. And while you are getting the issue, always try to debug the code. Just keep in a practice that will really help to solve you the real time problem. And these sessions that I'm recording here, that does not pre-build a project so that I can call, use that code and show you. I'm developing on a real time, so there might be a long sessions because we are solving the problem, we are debugging the code, we are problem solving the problem in the real time. So it might take time, and it will really help you to understand the real time problems that you get while you working on any project. Okay, so what you have learned today, you have learned how can we print the objects over here in this format, how can we create two strings things, how can we debug the code in case of an error. So now our welcome is working, like our login is working fine. But if you notice here, I just logged in here, but it's still the login and these things are showing to me. So how can we manage this thing? How can we use the different headers here? So for that, just go to the header section. Let me check if I have this code. When I move to the header section, what I can see, I have different type of user sessions over here. Okay, session is scope, but I didn't create any session into the from the controller side. So what we can do, let's quickly create a session. Okay, so where we have to create the session, we have to create session into the login controller only here. Okay, how can we create the session? Just call HTTP session HTTP session no, and keep it in name of the session. Running result is okay. Now what we are going to do here, if user is not null, it means the user is not null, means the user is logged in successfully. In that case, it will create a user session. So now with the session dot get attribute, and what should be the name? Okay, sorry. Here I'm going to set the session. So it will be set attribute, and what will be the name? User. Let's say I'm just keeping a user, and what I need to put here, the user DTO. In the session, we are going to add the value of this user. And now where this will be imported, or you can say we can get these values, we can get it anywhere. Okay, so let's say I'm going to give it the return as a user DTO. So session will create, we have to typecast it here as a user DTO. That's fine. And I'm going to give it a name as a user DTO. Okay, what's the issue? Cannot cast void to. Okay, just set the session and we can check the scope here with the name of user. Here into our register into the header section. Into the header section, we have if role is admin, then it will display here. If nothing is there, so we are keeping a condition here. If session scope dot user equals to null, then it will show sign up login. And if there is a user role is admin, And then uh, in that case, it will display other things. If it is a user, then it will display other things. So I'm going to reduce this code first. We don't need that much. That I think I have copied from in my previous project. So I'm just going to remove this in case of admin and in case of user. So in case of user, it will display only home. Okay, apart from that, all the things I'm going to remove. Okay, just keep this just keep this logout option. Not this much. Let's remove this. Is it fine? Yeah. If session is not null, then it will display the logout option. Okay, and it should be display the home as well to the user. So I'm going to copy this home thing over there to the user section. So it will display the home as well. Let's quickly check. Okay, we have to log in. Okay, now we have some error. So it's showing property binding errors 3. Okay, into the auth. We are not redirecting to the auth now. Go to the login, sign in. So we are getting error here. It says form on field phone number. Okay, now currently what happening? We are throwing an issue over there. So let me quickly pass this session DTO and where is that? Sorry, it's in login. Okay, it's in the login controller. Okay, let's quickly print this DTO first and let's understand what's the issue we are facing over here. Sys out and we are calling this user DTO and checking this. Okay, now quickly go to login page. Fine, you are getting this, that's fine. Okay, I think again we have to change the position for this. I don't know why it's getting the problem. In the last session also I faced this, but I think it should solve now. Okay. Okay, just keep in mind what I observe. The issue is solved now. What I observe, whatever the model attributes you are creating here, after the model attribute, only you have to bind the results. And after that, you have to add the other parameters over here. So it might be getting the next parameter. Okay, so now if you see, I'm going to log out first. Okay, logout is not implemented yet. So let me restart it. Restart the server and everything is working fine now, I guess. So I come here, the bug checking, restart my project. And when I run this Java application, why I have restarted? Because we have created the session, so every time it keep logged in. Okay, we didn't write a code to invalidate that. And So now if I refresh this, okay, now we have two options, sign up and login. So I'm going to just log in with a valid user, the username and the password. And let's first sign as an invalid user. So it's showing me error as an invalid user and password. But if I use the correct one, this is the correct one, it's sign in. And now if you see, it's not showing values for sign up and login options because it's logged in and we have hide that option. And also we are getting home two time. Why? Let's check into the header. Go to the header section and we are saying we are adding this home extra. Just remove this and this home will display for the, let's understand now the header code. Okay, this home will be display for all the options where if admin login, user login, anyone login, we didn't have any check here, so it will always display over there. Now if user is null, it means not no one is logged in over there. In that case it will display sign up and login option. In case if there is a admin is logged in, user role equals to admin. In that case, we have to display some option. We can manipulate this thing. Let's say I'm going to add one thing over here. Let's say I'm going to log in as an admin. And I can say admin. And here for the user, I can say one field as a user. This is not, I'm just adding this for a dummy purpose. We'll remove in a while. I want to show you the exact thing. So in case of admin login, it will say admin. In case of user login, it will display user. And in case of no one is logged in, like if someone is logged in over there, user or admin, anyone, if someone is logged in, then it will display the logout option that is a mandatory. So if no one is logged in, it will not display anything. It will display sign up and login if equals to null. And then if there is a session with some user, it will display the logout. That's good. Now, if you notice here into the user table, we have one field with a name as a username. So let's say I'm going to update it, one of them as admin. So now we'll check this option. So hope you will understand how we are manipulating the headers over there. So I'm going to just log in with this user and check is that admin or not. So if I refresh this, it's showing me a user. I just go to the home page. Okay, logout is not implemented. I think I have to reach. Can we quickly, before checking this, we can quickly implement the logout. So for that, we don't need to do anything. Just I'm going to create a logout controller. For the logout, just create a simple logout CTL. Okay, and this I'm going to use it as a controller, and we are going to keep a get mapping, and what will be the mapping? Mapping will be logout. If there is a logout request, then what we need to do? We need to do public string logout. Okay, and it will be written on the after logout where we need to redirect the user on the login page itself. Okay, and here what we can do uh, into the login we have this thing, so I'm just going to just copy this. HTTP session and model we need. Okay, so we need a HTTP session and model as a parameter. And what we are going to do, we are going to do session user DTO we are going to get the information of the user right here. So user DTO, and we can say UDTO equals to session dot, sorry, it should be a session dot get attribute. And what was the name of our session? That was user, and we have to typecast it. So user DTO, right? That's fine. So here in at the time of login, here we are going to set a session, right? We are going to set a session with a name of user. And here at the time of logout, we are going to get that session. And what we are going to do, we are going to do session dot invalidate. Okay, we are going to session dot invalidate. So we are going to invalidate the session. Also, we can keep this information, like we have this information. So we can say sys out, we can use this user DTO. So we can identify which user is going to log out. So let's say I'm going to the log out, just log out the user. So we can say UDTO and dot get username, get username. We have not, we have to, first name. Okay, let's say I'm going to print as first name. First name is just log out. So in this way, we can get the value from the session as well. Okay, I think that's fine. And when we need to call this, when user will click on the logout. And where is the logout we have defined? We have defined the logout in our header section. So if I go to the header section, you can see we are already calling this as a logout. That's it. That's the same thing. So now it's implemented correctly. I go here and I just refresh it. Now it's showing login. So I'm going to log in here and you can say this is the user. It's showing the user page and welcome the user. And I just click on the logout. Oh, there is an error. Something went wrong. What is that? Okay, just to understand why it's failing. No, there is no clue. Do we have any clue here on the login details and JSP including neither binding or pen target for the object form available for the request attribute? Okay, so what you understand? We have to add a form binding over there. So what is the form binding? We are using this. The same thing we are going to use there as well. So we need this parameter as well. I'm going to just copy the same. That's it. And now if I refresh this, let's say null. I just go login, logged in with this user, click on logout, and it's logged out successfully. Okay, so next thing, but it's not showing any message. User is logged out. So what we can do for that? We can add a message. So let's say model dot model dot add attribute, model dot add attribute. Let's say success, and we can say the message as a logout successful. Successful. Also, if you check the console, it's printing that message. The username Vivin is that is here. Vivin is just logout, and that is the only user by which we will log in. The username was Vivin, the first name. Okay, so now the logout should work perfectly. I just go here, log in with this user, click to the logout, and you can say logout successfully. So logout is also done. And now let's log in as an admin. So now we can log in as an admin. So this is our admin user. So let's keep it quickly simple. So admin at the rate gmail.com will be our admin. And let's say this is the user. So I can say user at the rate gmail.com will be your user. So I just apply finish. Okay. So now we have two users, admin and user. So let's log in as an admin. Admin password admin. Yeah. So it's showing admin. So admin is logged in because it's showing this because that while you click on this, it's redirecting to the registration page because the link is there. We can remove it. Let's quickly do it. The registration side. Okay, into the header section. Into the header section, we have this registration. Just keep it as. Currently, we don't have anything for this. Okay. So if I log out again, I say log out successfully. If admin login, it will redirect to the admin. If I'm going to log in as a user, it will display the user page. So we are manipulating the header according to the user role. Okay, we are using same login page, but when we log in as a different types of user, it's showing us a different thing. Also, by the session, we can track the user information on the JSP page as well. So we can identify which user is correctly logged in. Currently, I know the user is logged in, but I don't know of which user is logged in. So how can we implement that things? Let's quickly continue in this in this session only. So into the header, we have this user. We have this session scope here. So what I can do, I can use this session scope to print the username. So here into the welcome page, let's move to the welcome page. Okay, we are going to display that information on the welcome page. So into the welcome page, I went to the welcome page, and in this welcome page, I'm going to print H3, let's say. Into the H3, I'm going to print this. And here I need to pass the exact parameter that we are using in our DTO. So user dot where is the user DTO? There it is. So we are going to call this first name. Okay, we were on the welcome, right? First name. Okay, so for the user's first name, we can print like this. Okay, you can see the ground. We can display messages. Hey, welcome, and the user. We will say hi, welcome. Okay, and similarly, I'm going to just log out. Okay, my battery is going to be down. Okay, so if I log in as an admin user, then it will display this name. What is the name of this admin user? It is the first name is Molly. So it's saying, hi, welcome, Molly. So I think that's it for today, and we have done many things. We have done with login, we have done with the logout, we have done with the header manipulations, like how can we display the different options over the header. Hope you have liked this video and you understand some meaningful things. And we'll keep continue developing. And our next sessions, we are going to convert this in a complete web application. We are on the track to develop a bug tracking application in a Spring Boot from scratch. So this will helpful. If you liking the video, please subscribe, code one, and keep your supporting. Keep add the comment if you are facing any issue and you need any other specific video on specific topics. So we will try to add those videos over the channel. Thank you for watching.